So we were expecting three things out of the budget this time: reform to the tax mechanism, updates on reporting, a single reporting mechanism, and also possibly an energy efficiency incentive announcement. We got some of that. What we did get was an abolition of the CRC, we got the CCL rates increasing, we got CCAs extending, and we got some more money for CFDs. In other words, lots of three-letter acronyms that really we need to understand what they mean, what you can do about it, what facts are known, and what to watch out for. So first of all, what we're going to see is the abolition of the CRC, the Carbon Reduction Commitment. This is perhaps one of the most unpopular energy taxes. It was seen as really complex, really admin heavy, and actually did very little to promote energy efficiency. So the bit that's new news is the fact of the date, April 2019. That's when it's confirmed that CRC will expire. In other words, at the end of the current phase 2 of CRC. So what does that mean? Well, bear in mind that all of these reviews were designed to be revenue neutral. That means that the £900 million that CRC has raised every year in the past, that £900 million will be smeared across CCL. So CCL currently raises about 800 million. That will rise therefore to about 1.7 billion pounds of CCL. In other words, the rate for CCL is going to just about double. The absolute rates that we pay in 2019 will depend on various factors, not least of all the sort of compound effect of RPI from now until 2019. But what we do know is there'll be a redress of the balance between gas and electricity. So at the moment, the rate for electricity is about £5.60 per megawatt hour and about £1.90 per megawatt hour for gas. So that's a ratio of about 2.9 to 1. They've actually stated they want to move that ratio to 2.5 to 1 initially. So bearing in mind the increase that we've just talked about, that means that electricity will go up to around about £12 per megawatt hour, gas up to about £4 per megawatt hour. So the Chancellor upheld his promise to actually protect energy intensive users. The climate change agreements, some feared that actually there'd be a narrowing of the scope of the climate change agreements. That didn't happen. There was confirmation that the existing CCAs will stay in place to 2023. And in fact, the rate of exemption will increase from 90% up to 93% for electricity and from 65% up to 78% for gas. That will just about neutralise the effect of the increased rates on CCL. But there is a sting in the tail. DEC will do a review of the energy efficiency targets that are associated with these CCAs. So it's not free money. There will be requirements on those organisations that are in receipt of CCA discount. Well, we do know there will be a single reporting scheme by 2019. But that's about all we do know. There's no more detail announced. We're expecting a consultation this summer. So for the time being, ESOS, carbon reporting, we don't know the details. All we know is it will be confirmed into a single reporting mechanism by 2019. Well, there was some support for small-scale nuclear, and there was also, given the oil price, support for North Sea oil, which probably don't affect too many of you. But actually what there was £730 million set aside for CFDs. Remember, CFDs for renewables are replacing the renewables obligation to help incentivise investment in the renewables sector. So good news there. There was also £50 million set aside for storage and demand-side response initiatives. This could be really interesting as to how exactly this money is going to be allocated and what new advances can be brought to bear on energy storage and demand-side response. Well, whether you're covered by the CRC or not, climate change levy was on your bill and the rates will be increasing. So that means that every unit of energy you use will be costing you more in the future. That surely will add impetus to energy efficiency being a priority within businesses. But don't wait around for the incentives, because unfortunately with £3.5 billion worth of cuts, I can't see incentives being handed out left, right and centre. If only you had a report that told you where to focus your efforts to try and reduce those consumption. Dig out your ESOS report, blow the dust off it, have a read and start to act on some of those recommendations that are contained in that report. And of course that might be the last ESOS report you get, because there will be a simplified reporting mechanism, the details of which we don't know. So make sure for the time being you continue to keep accurate records of your consumption and carbon use. Keep an open mind towards flexibility. There's an incentive there on energy storage and demand side response. Perhaps you as an organisation can have a look at ways in which you can participate in lots of schemes around demand side response to the needs of balancing our energy market. It doesn't have to be dramatic load shifting. It can just be small incremental steps for each business that can produce great results. So if you want to find out more about the impact of the budget, go to inenco.com. There's lots more information on there about the impact for you and your business. Don't forget to visit the Have Your Say section as well, where you can voice your concerns, thoughts or comments on the budget. Inenco.com/have your say.